Okay, the first addition I'm going to talk about today is 78.94 plus 59.78. And I'm going to show that you need to add your columns up. So you always start in the far right column, this one here. So 4 plus 8 is 12. Carry the 1. Then I do the second column, which is this one here. 9 plus 7 is something like 16, and then one more is 17. And I carry the 1, I always put it up next to the number. 8 plus 9 equals 17, and one more is 18. So I carry the 1 again. I don't worry about the decimals just for now, I always do them at the end. 7 plus 5 is 12, and one more is 13. Then I put the decimal in at the end, so my answer is 138.72. And I can use my laser to show the answer. So 138.72. Okay. It's recording. So I'm going to subtract two decimal numbers here. 134.25. Take away 87.39. And I always make sure I keep my decimals lined up in the middle. And when you're taking away, you always start in this far right column here. Okay? So 5 take away 9, I know I can't do that. So I need to borrow from my neighbours, which is this number here. That's my neighbour there. So I take away, so that's going to become 1. And then I can put a little 1 up here because I've borrowed it. So now, what's this number called, Parker? 15. So 15 take away 9 equals 6. Well done. Now over here, look at this. I've got 1 here. So 1 take away 3, I know I can't do that. So what do I need to do? I need to borrow from my neighbour again. So this is going to become 3. I borrow from here. And this number, what's this number, Adam? 11. So 11 take away 3 is 8. Now I'm going to do decimals at the end. I always just leave the decimals till the end. So let's keep going. 3 take away 7. How do I do that? I need to borrow from my neighbour. So this becomes 2. And then that becomes 13. So 13 take away 7 equals 6. Now 2 take away 8. Oh dear, I need to borrow from my neighbour. That's 0. That becomes 12. 12 take away 8 is 4. Now see, as well, while I've been doing this, I've been trying to keep all my columns, look at this, I've been trying to keep my columns all lined up. It's really important that you keep them lined up. So now I get my laser, boys, at the end, and I say, okay, oops, I haven't done my decimal. I need to put my decimal in. So now I use my laser. Now I use my laser and I say the answer. So the answer is 46.86. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do multiplication video. So we start off with 25.9 times 7.6. So with multiplication, it's really important to keep your numbers lined up in columns like that. Okay? Because what we're going to do, we're going to start with this number and multiply here, then here, then here. A little bit like a diagonal pattern. And then once we've finished with this number here, we're going to then multiply this way, and this way. So it's a little bit like a diagonal pattern. So let's do the first one. 9 times 6 equals 54. So I write the 4 here and I put the 5 up here because I'm carrying that over, a little bit like addition. Now it's time to do the diagonal multiplication. So 6 times 5 is 30, and then I need to add this 5, so it becomes 35. So I put a 5 here and a 3 up here. Now it's time to do 6 times 2. So 6 times 2 is 12. Then I need to add the 3, so that's 15. Now, don't worry about decimals at the moment. I will always do those at the end of the problem. Now, I've finished with this 6 because I've multiplied 3 ways. Okay, so I've finished with that. So now what I need to do is put a 0 down here because I don't need this number anymore. Now it's time to do 7, 7, 7. I'm going to multiply by those numbers. Here we go. So 7 times 9 equals 63. Now I put my little 6 up here. Now this can become confusing because you've got 2 numbers up the top here. So what you need to do, I like to just put a circle around that one and a little circle around that one because I know I've finished using them already. Okay, so now I'm up to this. 7 times 5 equals 35. Then I need to add my 6. So that becomes 41. I carry my 4 over there. Now it's 7 times 2. So 7 times 2 is 14, and then I need to add my 4. So that becomes 18. So I just write down. Now I write 18 here because I've run out of numbers up here. I've got no more to multiply. Now the last thing I need to do is add up my columns. So 4 plus 0 becomes 4. 5 plus 3 becomes 8. 5 plus 1 becomes 6. 1 plus 8 becomes 9. And 1 plus 0 equals 1. Now, I've got my answer here. This is going to be my answer. However, there's something I need to do. See these things here? These are the decimals. I need to add them in. So with multiplication, we don't just line them up and put them in there. What we do with multiplication is we count how many decimal places are there. So there's 1 decimal place here and 1 decimal place here. So altogether there's 2 decimal places. So I go 1, 2 decimal places. And this is where my decimal will go. Okay? So there it is there. So my answer is 196.84. Go. Okay, I'm going to show how to do division. So we're going to do short division on this side, and we're going to do long division on this side. Okay, so the question is 83.1 divided by 3. So first of all, 3 into 8 goes 2 times. And there's a remainder of 2. So we put it there. Now this number becomes 23. So 3 into 23 goes 7 times. And there's a remainder of 2. So this number becomes 21. 3 into 21 goes 7 times. Now with division, we just need to make sure we put this decimal in the right spot, straight above. So it's 27.7. Now, our long division, we write the same sum, 83.1 divided by 3. And this time, the pattern of long division is first of all we divide, then we multiply, then we subtract, and then we bring down. So we bring the number down. And we just follow this cycle each time. So division, multiply, subtract, bring down. And then we go back to the start again. So let's have a go of doing it. First of all, 3 into 8 goes 2 times. Then we do multiplication. 2 times 3 is 6. Then we do subtraction. So 8 take away 6 is 2. Then we bring down the number. So let's bring down the 3. So this number becomes 23. Now we're back to the start of our cycle again. We divide. So 3 into 23 goes 7 times. Then we're up to multiplication. 7 times 3 is 21. I just need to get rid of this. 21. Okay, now we're up to subtraction. So we subtract 23 and 21, becomes 2. Now we're up to bringing down the number. So let's bring down the 1, becomes 21. 3 into 21 goes 7 times. 7 times 3, we're up to multiplication, goes 21. Then we subtract. 21 take 21 is 0. Now we don't have any number to bring down, so we've finished. Do we have any remainders? No, it's a 0. So the last thing we need to do is include the decimal. So we put the decimal straight above, and our answer is 27.7. And we can check that that's correct because our short division is the same answer, 27.7.